Hello again. This is Bob Passy for Democracy Rising America. Now that we're well into, if not incredibly, having an incredibly weakened president and with Trump to perhaps replacing him, which is pretty much just the tip of the iceberg of the real problems that we have. It's time to think about what has really been going on and what is the situation in this country. One of the ways to talk about it is to think about what has happened with the domination of the neoliberal economic system as a kind of, we've been occupied by an alien ideology that has taken over basically the entire country. That sounds drastic, and it is, because it has subverted almost everything that this country has been about in the past and is supposed to be about. It has replaced democracy, which is a process of serving the people and investing in the society where everybody invests some to make sure that the entire society can function well, to a shift to have government not serving the people and the citizens anymore, but to serve an economic elite. That was done gradually over, oh goodness, a half a century now, with things, with the tax code being changed, with the laws being changed, with all the economics being changed, and sort of the hallmark of how we decided, or we wanted anyway, to decide how things should be done were a kind of democratic morality. What is good to keep a healthy society, a resilient society, a sustainable society, and economics was part of that, but the economics was to serve the democracy and not the other way around. As the alien ideology began to occupy all the seats of power, what we really had was a government serving the economic elite. They were the clients of the government, and they were the ones who were making all the decisions, and we know that now. I mean, we have the 1% economic elite making decisions for the rest of us, and we have practically no voice, or certainly no meaningful voice. And they've taken over the court, they've taken, the media is under their control, so they have all the levers of power, and instead of a kind of democratic morality that we used to have, of course, all of these things were somewhat imperfect, but they were at least aimed at trying to create a good society of some kind. And now the government is aimed at serving those economic elite clients. What we have instead of a democratic morality is a sort of marketplace morality. In other words, if money can be made, then it's a good thing to do. And if you can't make money helping poor people, for instance, then we shouldn't be doing it. That's a pretty heartless and ruthless kind of morality, but that's what we have evolved into under this new occupation. The reason that it's worthwhile to remember that it's like an occupation is that an occupying army, think of France, occupied France in World War II. After the occupiers were driven out, basically everything that occupying government did was invalidated. In other words, they threw out what that occupying power put in place as a government, and they went back to a form of government that they had before. And that's kind of what we need to do. We need to get rid of the occupying government and the things that they put into place, the laws, the court decisions, everything. And we need to go back and reconstruct the democratic society that we had before. So I'm just suggesting that this as a way of thinking about what has happened in the last half a century and how we got to the place where the economic elite is in power and they're making all the decisions and they control all the levers of power, and eventually gave us a Donald Trump. But even if we get rid of Donald Trump and we leave that that occupying ideology in place, we are really in trouble at that point too. So we have to begin to think of ways that we can deal with getting rid of this occupation and replacing it with something that we all would recognize as a democratic America. Again, this is food for thought. This is Bob Passy for Democracy Rising America. We'll talk again soon. Bye now.